Cash Crew, we're back for another episode, first episode of the season. And I mean, shoot, it would have been 16 weeks now.
Yeah,
how you feel, Vlad?
Just about. We're doing good. We got a special episode. Obviously, we got big weekend this weekend, Super Bowl weekend,
yes,
the biggest
sir.
weekend that everybody's waiting for every year. This week, we actually have a special guest with us. We're going to let him introduce himself.
What's up, everybody, man? Kindle Vildor in the building, checking in. Let's do it.
All right, let everybody know who you play for. What's your number?
Chicago Bears cornerback, number 22. Just finished up my rookie season, man. I'm ready for year 2.
No. You know we got to start this out a little bit different. Come on now. Okay, I got to hit the drum roll for him now. It's been 20-some good years, right? There was this little kid that was singing "The Block Is Hot" by Lil Wayne. I was introduced to him when he was maybe like 4 or 5 years old, I believe. It just came out of nowhere and was like, "Yeah, this is your little cousin." And I was like, "Okay, cool. What does he do?" Turns out he played football. He liked, Michael Vick a lot, so we played a lot of football in the backyard. Fast forward to today, we see so much success. So many people that have been along for the ride to see the things that have been done. So I just wanted to say that first, because you got to give people flowers while they're still here. So introducing to you, number 22 from Chicago Bears, Kindle Vildor. And we're going to do it like that.
So we're going to switch it up a little bit this week. I know you guys are dying to hear some things from a professional athlete, some behind the scenes things. So we got a couple questions that we're going to ask Kindle regarding football and this weekend, and then we're going to get into this week's matchup.
Yes, sir.
So
matchup.
Now that you've finished up your rookie year, we've actually asked a couple questions to our audience that they want to ask you. So the first question is, how much film do you watch in preparation for your matchup, and what are you looking for to gain an advantage?
Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I watch a lot of film to get ready. I mean, because in the NFL, it's different from college. In college, you probably can get away with just watching here and there, things like that. But in the next level, everybody's good. I mean, so constantly watching that film throughout the whole week, after practice, during practice, during practice, they have the film out there. We can watch ourselves and watch the other team often and things like that. So it's an ongoing thing watching film, and I learned a lot from Kyle Fuller, just the way he break down the film, and he broke it down to me as my opportunity came, and I was getting ready to play a lot and everything like that. So it's a lot you got to do getting ready to play in the game and stuff like that.
When this question came in, actually, I remember, because we've seen the behind the scenes, we've seen the progression from day one, and I remember having a conversation with OD, your trainer, about how freshman sophomore year you weren't really watching film like that, and it really wasn't until OD came that you became a student of the game. Do you see a jump now from like the way that you were studying in college to now how you study in football? Was the foundation set to where now it's kind of the same thing, or is it another level?
Yeah, I feel like the foundation is pretty much set too. And my junior cornerback coach Peoples, he kind of set that foundation for me, just going to his office after practice, during our off days, and him helping me out, teaching me how to watch film. I carried that on through my senior year when he wasn't able to be there up until my rookie year in the NFL and stuff like that. So that foundation was definitely set around that time.
Mm-hmm. Coach Peoples, 40-piece lemon pepper.
So on average, what would you say, how many hours per day or per week, you take just for preparation, just watching film, with yourself or with your teammates?
Yeah, so I mean, throughout the day when we get ready for practice and stuff like that, we pretty much watching film from probably about 9 in the morning up until maybe like 12 and different things like that.
Okay.
And after practice, we're meeting after practice for an hour, and then on my own time, probably watching another hour, 2 hours just by myself. So yeah, so it's constantly just trying to grind and just get that mental right, because that's pretty much the game is half mental too. So if you got it mental and physically, I mean, you can't be stopped.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about what people really want, because this, the name of the podcast is Sports Cash, right? So let's talk cash, right? So let's talk about, let's see, we've got another question here. First question was from Kens. Thank you, Kens. So Kenny asked, how does it feel when you realize you made it? How did it feel, draft day?
Yeah, I mean, draft day, it was crazy. I mean, just having everybody there waiting. And it was kind of nerve-wracking too, 'cause you trying to see when somebody gonna call your phone and everything like that. So finally getting that call and everything, it was a blessing. I was just happy that it was finally over and everything like that. So, yeah.
What was running through your mind, man? You notice, like, all right, finally I'm gonna be able to start making things better for my family. You know, a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes and how much you've gone through. So what does that feel like to be able to know, okay, it's not gonna be right now, but I'm gonna be able to take care of mom. I'm gonna be able to take care of her.
It was a real big relief. I mean, and the crazy part is, like, we actually didn't really even get paid and everything like that until like 2-3 months after the draft, because of COVID, we wasn't able to come into the building and get our physicals and things like that. So, so that was like kind of like a little minor setback and everything like that. But things all fell into place pretty good though. So,
man, so you sitting there, you're like, yeah, I'm drafted. Everybody knows you drafted.
I don't got no money.
Yeah, come on, big dog, come on now. You're like, yeah, I ain't got it like that yet.
I feel you. But when was that moment, you know, you whether in Chicago or in Atlanta, you walked around and somebody came to you and said, hey, who are you? Or, you know, had that moment when you actually told somebody, yo, I'm an NFL player. That's my occupation.
Has that happened?
No, but I know it was one time when I was in Chicago and I was like, get some Chick-fil-A and everything like that, and I had told him to do my name. And he was just like, oh, you play for the Bears and stuff like that. I was like, yeah. I knew me. He was a fan. He watched football and stuff like that, so he knew me off my name. So I'm like, dang,
that's cool.
Know me.
that's what's up.
That's really cool. So we had actually 2 questions from Kenny. He says, of course, this is the question that everybody got to give the people what they want. Right. They want to know, what was it like when you got that first bank notification and the money dropped from the first check?
Yeah, I was happy, man, because everybody throughout the week they was just like, yeah, man, the check's supposed to drop today, it's supposed to drop this week and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, bet, I'm gonna just see. So I ain't even checked in the morning. I woke up, but when I got in the building, it was just like, yeah, it hit. I checked and I was like, oh snap! Like, yeah, I got a little 6-figure in my bank account.
Yes, sir.
Ever, you know what I mean? So I was just happy and everything like that. I think probably like the next few days after that, had sent my mom some money and everything. Yeah. She was happy. She couldn't believe it herself. Like, wow, I can't believe I got this much money. You know? So she, she'd be crying all the time.
Yes, sir, all the time.
So she was like, "Oh, for real, you want to send that much?" But she, she chilled and everything. So yeah, that was really exciting.
I got to say that's probably one of my favorite things, and I mean we've talked about it over and over and over again, but that's one of my favorite things is to see her chill. When we went up to the Tennessee Titans game, just to see her just relax. And talking about, like, I asked her all the other games she's been to, and she's like, yeah, I went up to Charlotte. You know? I'm like, yeah, chill, ma. Yeah, chill hard. So that's been one of my favorite things for real.
For sure. So let's get into some football questions. This year, you know, you was fortunate to play against a lot of big name quarterbacks. You know, a lot of quarterbacks that might be the GOAT to some people. You actually got to play against Brady this year. So matching up against Brady, what would you say preparing for that? You know, what did you have to do to get prepared against Brady? You know, Brady been in the league about 20 years now, and obviously, you know, he's like the GOAT to a lot of people, so he knows the game inside out. And you being a rookie, what did you do to get ready to play against Brady? Yeah,
I mean, going up against a quarterback of that caliber, I mean, it's a big mental game, so you got to know how to disguise what you win, make them think you win something, and you actually win something else. So you got to play those mind games with him, because if you show him something, he already know what you win. He just gonna pick you apart every time. So that was big for us going to that week, just trying to show him different things and everything like that. Because I mean, he know how to run the offense himself. I mean, he basically the coach on the field. So it was a real tough task for us.
Okay. Now we all know the Bucs is high power. You know, they got Chris Godwin, they got Mike Evans. And now they got AB. Matter of fact, when you played them with AB wasn't on the roster. Yeah, okay.
And they actually had a lot of players out when we played them. I think Michael Thomas was the one out there, their main starter that actually played him and Gronk. So we actually kind of got fortunate. We had to see all that power.
Okay.
So Evans played?
Yeah, he played.
Mike,
he was banged up a little bit. He had an ankle injury.
Got you. So out of all of them, because I know I'm watching the film, you know, you was on both sides of the field. Who was the hardest, and what, I guess, strategy did you use to defend, you know, each one? Did you jam at the line? Did you get physical? Did you speed? just touch base on, between, I don't think you guarded Gronk, but I know there's times you had Mike, and Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin at that time. So if you want to touch base on that.
Yeah, they both two different types of style players and everything like that. You got Mike Evans. He's like more of a big receiver, not the fast and everything like that, but he knows how to use his body to catch the ball. So with him, it's just all about just trying to stay in front of him, try to get your hands on you when you can too. Because he's very physical. He'll like to use his hands to push off and everything like that. And then Godwin, very talented wide receiver all around, great route runner, just using your technique, the best of your ability and everything like that. But he's a great receiver.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
They got guns all up and down the field.
Right. AB now, Tyler Johnson, the rookie, he pretty good too. So
yeah, Tyler Johnson. You played against Tyler Johnson before in a game that should have been a win. You know what I'm saying?
They should have. So obviously, the Chiefs are going to be playing the Bucks this weekend, and if you was to give them some insight to match up against Brady and that high power offense. We're not telling you to spit all the beams, but what's some tips you would suggest the defense like Honey Badger and the rest of those guys to do in order to beat Tom Brady this weekend?
Yeah, I feel like those guys, they already have a great, talented group on the defensive end of the ball. I mean, with Ward, the cornerback, Snead, the rookie that's playing great, Tyrann at safety, like you said, and I feel like those guys, they do a good job. They challenge the receivers. I mean, when I'm watching the game, they pressing pretty much every snap. So, and when you press the receiver, that throw off the time and everything like that. So, I feel like they just keep doing what they do and everything like that. The skies, I know Tyrann will probably do a good job of that. I mean, I feel like they'll match up pretty good against the Bucks.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, of course, we got to get more into some of the X and O's of the game, because I think we may be on the other two different sides. We got the GOAT and we got the kid that will become the GOAT eventually.
Absolutely.
I mean, shoot, he's speeding down that path. So two different quarterbacks, two different styles of play. But I think the offenses are still pretty high octane no matter which way you go. So I don't know if you put some money down on this, but we're not to blow what you were hoping to happen. But I'm gonna start with Vlad. Who do you have in this game? Are you going with the GOAT or are you going with the kid?
So all week, I'll be honest with you, I've been going back and forth on it because obviously watching football for over a decade now, you try to go with what you've seen before, right? Obviously, Brady has the upper hand because he has the experience. This will be his 10th Super Bowl coming up. So, that alone right there, some guys in the NFL, don't even get to touch the Super Bowl in their whole career. And he's about to, play in his 10th. However, Mahomes has the power and the weapons to dethrone them. Mm-hmm. So this game, honestly, I don't even think it's going to come down to the offense. I think it's going to come down to the defense. What defense can make the stops in the fourth quarter? If you can keep Brady off the field, we all know what Mahomes can do. He could put up 21 in a quarter, right? He can play from being behind. But you got to keep Brady along with his weapons on the sideline and drain that clock and keep the ball in your hands. So two things I'll say is Mahomes has to manage the game. That's one. Just like, Philly did in 2017. You got to manage that clock, and you got to keep your foot on their neck. Don't think you go up 14-0, you good, or 21-0, or 21-7, you good, because obviously we've seen Brady be up 28-3.
Relax.
Falcons.
Relax.
And he does a comeback. So Mahomes has to play the mental game. I know he has the physical attributes, but he definitely has to play the mental game because Brady will outplay you in the mental game if you don't play that game with him.
Okay. Kendall, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm going to give the edge to the Chiefs, man. I just feel like it's really going to come down to how the Bucks play on defense. I mean, like that. I mean, the Chiefs, they got a very, very explosive offense. I mean, if the Bucks can't maintain them, I mean, it's going to get ugly quick, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I feel like the Chiefs got the advantage this week.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth with this one for real because when we were watching the game, that was 2 weeks ago, you said from the beginning, yeah, Bucks got this. I was like, nah. But yeah, I mean, you not only watched it, you've played it, so you obviously saw something. But I think about like with the Chiefs, I look at them like they're Golden State, to be honest. And Patrick Mahomes, I look at him like he's Steph, because they're a potent offense. But then at the same breath, they're young, right? And a lot of people are saying the youngins can't get it done these days, and we've seen it time and time again. Young players are coming into these leagues, whether it be NBA, heck, even hockey and the NHL. They come in ready to play because this is now the generation that has been training like NFL players since like Pee Wee League. So they're coming in ready. So a lot of people are going to say, well, Brady's the OG, he's the GOAT, you expect him to win. But to be honest, I feel like the expectation is on Kansas City. You ran away with a victory in the first one.
I can't say that. I can't say that.
I mean, I ain't watch every single game, but I don't feel like they struggled really through the season, right?
Remember, the Bears had them on the heels. I mean, not the Bears. I'm sorry, the Browns. The Browns had them on the heels.
No, Browns playing some good football too.
And the Bills. I mean, even they gave the butt whooping to the Bills, but that first quarter, they put up a little fight. Mm-hmm. So,
but lately,
I would say last year more than lately. I would say last year they ran through up into the Super Bowl,
which doesn't matter because in the end you can't carry what happened last season into this season. To be honest, you ain't won no Super Bowl. You didn't win one this year, so you have not won a Super Bowl. You can't really use that to go forward. But I really do think the pressure is on Kansas City. Like, really, did anyone? What Tom Brady is doing is unprecedented. Like, he's old as dirt out here, and he's just reinventing himself right in front of our eyes. Man can't throw it 20 yards, and somehow with all these weapons, right back into what seems like his house. So, with all that being said, I'm going Kansas City, bro. I got to. I know it's sacrilegious to go against terrific Tom, but I can't. Something about Kansas City, they got a special team. And with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, like, it's very special what they're doing, and I just cannot bet against those guys. I'm going with the kid.
Okay, so it looked like it's a three-way run. All three of us going with Kansas City. So since we all going with Kansas City, what strategy is it going to take for them to win against the Bucs? I'll let you start, Kendall.
I just say they just keep doing what they're doing. I mean, the offense is powerhouse offense, man. They just create the explosive plays, and I say don't turn the ball over back to Tom Brady, because I mean he can capitalize off of those just like he did 2 weeks ago in the NFC Championship game. So,
okay. What you think, Vlad? What do they have to do to win this game? The Bucs, that is.
No, I got the Chiefs.
Well, I know. You were saying, you asked, what do the Bucs need to do to win?
The Chiefs to win.
Oh,
since we all picked the Chiefs to win it.
I got you.
One, I would say definitely be the team to defer, so get the ball in the second half if you have that chance.
That's big with Tom Brady.
You have to get 2 turnovers, one in the first half, one in the second half. Third, you have to rough up Tom Brady. You don't have to sack him, but we all know Tom Brady, once you put a hand on him, whether you rough him up, throw him on the ground, even if you get that 15-yard penalty, just let him know that you dare. Don't let him sit in that pocket nice. Because if you sit in that pocket nice, he's going to throw for 400 nice ones on you.
However, that last game he got roughed up. He did get roughed up, and he still threw pretty well. I was shocked because I was like, okay, if we get to him, then you good. And then he just... And then it was actually reverse because Aaron Rodgers was the one getting hit, and usually he can still fling it. And he was looking, but Jason.
But look at the halves.
Getting to him.
But look at the halves. The first half, Tom Brady wasn't even getting touched that much. Second half, he was. You saw the disruptions he had. Same thing. Aaron Rodgers' first half was getting thrown on the ground. Second half, he wasn't as much. Look at the turnaround. So quarterbacks like that, especially Tom Brady, is not mobile. We all know that. And he doesn't have a big cannon no more. Or he never really did.
He never did.
So you have to take his weapons away from him, right? Make him throw the ball earlier than he wants to, and make him make quick decisions, but costly decisions. So that means that front four has to come full-fledged. So that means the secondary can either gamble on certain plays, or they can take away the middle, which Tom Brady obviously likes to throw to.
That's funny. Everyone's going to be talking about the offenses, but to me, this is a classic offense versus defense. Because if the Bucs defense shows up the way that they showed up last week with Jason Pierre-Paul and all those guys, who's
Whitehead,
but no, the linebacker.
That's Whitehead. Devin Whitehead.
Devin Whitehead?
Yeah.
He's the one that went to college in Kansas City with Jason Pierre-Paul?
I'm not sure if he went with JPP, but that's the captain linebacker. But
I mean,
you got Sue and JPP on the line, though.
I mean, if they show up the way that they did, man, it will make life very, very difficult for Patrick Mahomes, boy. But this is classic kind of offense defense type of deal. I don't know much about Kansas City's defense. Like I said, I didn't really watch them all year, but I know, there's a lot of weapons that the Bucs are going to have their hands full, and they're going to have to try to find a way to slow down their offense for sure.
Absolutely. But it's definitely going to come down to that front four, because that secondary with all them weapons, they're going to have to travel. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to be traveling for 4 quarters. So you need that front four to give you an advantage to put pressure on Tom, so you don't, you exhaust your secondary traveling AB, Gronk, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans all around that field all night. Because if it is, it's a wrap. Yeah. It's a wrap. But if Patrick Mahomes is able to pull this off, where does this take him as far as legacy?
Well, I mean, I could tell you in rare air, because I actually was pulling this up while we were talking about it. There are only a few teams that have gone back-to-back, and you got to go all the way back to the 60s and 70s for you to be able to see it. Super Bowl 1 and 2 was Green Bay Packers. Then 7 and 8 was Miami Dolphins. Wow. Then 74, 75, that's 9 and Super Bowls 9 and 2. That was Pittsburgh. And then Pittsburgh did it again in 13 and 14. San Francisco 49ers, 23 and 24. Dallas Cowboys were good at some point. Dallas Cowboys, 27 and 28. Denver Broncos, 32 and 33. The Patriots, 38 and 39. So it's rare air. It's not a lot of teams that do it. And that list I was just showing you is all-time great teams. So, man, if you're able to pull this off, your legacy is cemented. To be honest, if Kansas City really, if they don't win another thing ever again, which I find hard to believe with that $500 million arm, but even if they do not win anything else, I say Hall of Fame. Just off rip. Back to back, you Hall of Famer.
Already.
Especially, he's going to get 2 chips, and he's going to be 25 and under.
That's insane.
That's the craziest thing about it.
25 and under. So he definitely can, if he stays healthy. If he plays another 15 years, I mean, like you said, he really might just need one more in 15 years, which is very much possible. And even if he doesn't, you have 2. I think in the history of the league, there's 10 or less quarterbacks that's won 2 Super Bowls, period, whether back-to-back or not. So he already entered that category of elite right there. That's automatic Hall of Fame right there. So for him to do it in his 4th season now, that will be, I mean, I don't think anybody has ever touched that.
It doesn't happen as much as people want. I mean, look at, you played 2. You played Rodgers and you Brady. Played Breeze. Yeah.
He played Brady.
Well, no, I'm saying in terms of quarterbacks that only have 1.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been fighting tooth and nail. Breeze, like, I forgot to tell you this. I'm on the bus. We're on the bus. Remember the bus driver when we came from the airport from New Orleans? And we said, oh, yeah, this might be the last one for Breeze. And he's talking about, man, they say that every year around here. Breeze ain't going nowhere, baby. I'm like, wow. I mean, I didn't realize how long Breeze been in the league. And he only has one. Thousands and thousands of yards. Hundreds of, well, not hundreds. I don't even know how many touchdowns at this point.
He's up there because he's up there as far as yards.
But just
he might, if I'm not mistaken, he might have the touchdown record.
Yes,
he might have the touchdown record.
That's something I might need to look up.
So, But yeah, like we said, he hasn't won one since 09, 10. So it's a decade plus, and he might not go back because apparently they saying, speculation. I think he might come back for one more year, but they even saying he might be done. The game he played against the Bucks after you guys played them, they said speculatively that was his last game. Yeah. So you live like you said, you play out your whole career, you win one, and he never sniffed it again.
Yeah,
came close, but got there.
If the Bucks win this game, what is Brady's legacy, Kindle?
I mean, he already the greatest of all time to me, man. I feel like that just solidifies his spot up there by himself. I mean, to go to Super Bowl 10 times, I mean, that's crazy, man, for individuals to do that. So, I mean, that'd be real special for me if he can come out there and get that Super Bowl ring again.
And then being the first one to do it in the team's home state.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's the greatest of all time.
3 different decades.
I mean, longevity. It doesn't really matter. To be honest, it's going to be a ESPN 30 for 30 for the decades. Sure. Like, we think Michael Jordan got that, what it was, a 10-part docuseries? Yeah. Tom Brady's docuseries is going to be insane.
But since you're in the league, this touch bases on how hard it is just to make the playoffs. Like,
exactly. I mean, it's real tough, man. I mean, just scratching and clawing and trying, like, for us personally, just trying to get that last spot. I mean, came up to the last week of the football season, and fortunate enough that Arizona Cardinals lost, we was able to get that last seed, man. But I mean, it's real tough because I mean, going up, the coach there actually was breaking it up, seeing all the players that played in playoff games, and it was real slim for players and coaches. Wow. They brought it all up. Wow. So I mean, so it's real tough. I mean, one of my teammates, Buster Screen, it was his 10th year, and he never played in the playoff game.
Damn.
He got hurt, so you know what I mean. So it was crazy. So
that's tough.
Just from that experience right there, from his experience, I mean, it's real tough to make it to a playoff game.
Yeah, that's crazy. 10
I never
years,
even thought about that.
And you didn't even touch a playoff in 10 years. And Brady's going to 10 Super Bowls.
Right.
Say some guys just got all the luck because it takes some luck too.
Yep.
It does
for you to be able to avoid injuries and everything. So.
It does, but that just speaks greatness. I mean, a sport like football where you don't have the advantage to play on both sides of the ball, you got to rely on special teams. You got to rely on offense. You got to rely on the defense. Yes, I get it. You are the general because you are the quarterback, so you do have a lot of things that's in your hands that you can control. But I mean, for you, and another thing too, let's not forget he's doing it on another team. He's not on Patriots, and he's doing it on his first year with a new team, and he's over 40 years old.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I just gotta say, man, Tom Brady hard, bro. He hard. I don't know if you've seen all his stuff that he puts out on Instagram and how petty he be, like the little subliminal messages. He doesn't forget anything. That's what really reminds me of Michael Jordan, because he doesn't forget anything and he doesn't forgive. He's going to put his foot on your neck. So all those, like, let's fucking go, all those things that he does, like he posted that. He had a video, the specific one I'm talking about, he had a video with Gronk. And kind of looked at the camera like...
The one in the tunnel?
No, I think they was just getting off the team flight. Okay. And it was basically kind of like, another team, another year. And we all knew what he was talking about. But it's just, man, he hard for that. I just got to say that.
I'll say this. If he does win it this weekend, we might have to put him in a category where, honestly... not even football-wise, it's athlete-wise.
Oh, of course.
Tennis, basketball, football, swimming, golf. Because of how hard it is just to get to the Super Bowl and the fact that he's won multiple, and if he wins this weekend, it will be number 7, which obviously we might not ever see in our lifetime again. Mm-hmm. We might put him as greatest athlete in our generation of our lifetime. We might.
Serena Williams would like a word.
She will, and we could debate that, later on down the line. Because I know I saw Serena's flex video when she was in her house talking about all these.
You know what's crazy about that? It's not even close. It's not the way that she dominated her. It's not even. There's no one even at number 2. How many trophies she has, it's not even close.
It is, but
we're going to keep him in the NFL.
Yeah. But that's another debate for another day. We can debate that, in another episode, but it's close. He has a resume that can fight that. But definitely I know we all got the Chiefs winning, but for me, if the Bucks want to win this game, we all know you can't let Tyreek beat you over the top like he did in the regular season, because he will hop on that phone and call for help for y'all. You have to take away Pat Mahomes' weapons. You have to make Pat Mahomes make the magical plays. I know he can make them, but make it hard for him. Even though we know he can make the miracle throws and the zip throws, the side throws, but make him do that. Make him work for them. Definitely JPP has to put a hand on him. Sue has to put a hand on him. And you have to make him turn over the ball if the Bucks want to win. That's the only way I see it. If you let Pat Mahomes sit comfortable and play backyard football on you, he's going to put 40 plus on the board. Yeah. Before you blink your eye. So, for all the Bucks fans or all the people that got, and I know a lot of people got some money on this game on the Bucks. I've heard some big bets. People got big money on Brady this weekend. So, if the Bucks want to win, to me is you got to keep saying you got to keep Brady off the field. You definitely have to keep Mahomes off the field, but also take away the explosive plays.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before we wrap it up, just a few more things. First thing, we have one question. I know we was gonna wait on this one, but I gotta ask this question because you already were thinking about it. What your answer was. So we got a question from Dove, of course, friend of the program and longtime listener from the beginning. He asked, "What is one player that you emulate your game after?"
Well, I say Tre'Davious White, without a question. I mean, he's one of the smooth cornerbacks, explosive cornerbacks. In this game, I actually had got our film people to just send me all the Buffalo Bills defenses just to watch him, just to see how he played and everything like that. So Tre'Davious White, he's one of those guys I really watch, man, just from his technique and everything like that, just the way he approached the game. He kind of reminds me of myself, how he presses and things like that. So Tre'Davious White for sure.
Mm-hmm. And did you have one more? Because I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Okay. So in 3 years, where do you see Kindle Vildor?
I say hopefully you're ready to sign that second contract. I mean,
heard.
So just. That's a big name.
Are we saying you're gonna bring out the Brinks trucks? I'm just saying.
We talking Lambos?
You know, Xavier Howard got his. Josh Norman got his a few years ago. Every year somebody breaks the market.
Yeah. Hey, the play on the field. That's what it is. It in.
And you made the playoffs this year. You matched up against big time receivers, and everybody saw that. You're not hitting no more. So. I think a lot of people next year is looking out for a breakout season from you.
I mean, the fans are. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Because actually, it's funny. While we was in New Orleans watching you guys play, we ran into some Chicago fans, and believe it or not, no cap, no hype. There was a lot of fans backing out, and putting a lot of good word on your name.
Yeah.
This is how I know for sure. There's no more of those stupid ass Kindle Amazon jokes. I know you've been hearing that your entire life, bruh. But I mean, at the beginning of the season, it was all the time. And you can't respond to people on Twitter, but I can, and I be going in. But I don't see that stuff anymore. It's like people are like, all right, so we got a secondary. Like, what are we gonna do with this person? What are we gonna do with this person? And Duke Shelley and Kindle Vildor. It wasn't like that at the beginning of the season. So that speaks to the work that you're putting in, for sure.
Absolutely. So there you guys got it. You heard the insider from a professional himself. Do not forget Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. Join our clubhouse room at 7 p.m. We are going to discuss the Super Bowl, what happened during the Super Bowl, big plays. You can chime in on your opinion of, which play was your favorite or what should happen, what shouldn't happen. Definitely follow us on all our social media and join the room on the clubhouse, 7 p.m. Monday, day after the Super Bowl. after Super Bowl watch. We're going to discuss the Super Bowl in this episode. And we appreciate you guys. We appreciate Kindle coming in.
Yes, sir.
Chiming in, giving us some insight. And we're going to give you guys a little teaser. We're going to bring him back for another episode to dive in more. He said he's willing to come back again, give us some more insight about, what goes on in the NFL, what goes on behind the scenes, even talk about his process of how he got to the NFL and, his process now being an NFL player. So continue to chime in, make sure to hit that notification bell, and stay up to date on what's going on with Sports Cash. We appreciate y'all. See y'all next week.
All right, Cash Crew, till next time.